Hey everybody, thanks for playing World of Tanks, and thanks for taking a look at this World of Tanks video. I got a pretty simple video here with this one, and we're mainly focusing on how it came to be that the enemy team put themselves into positions to lose this match. So of course part of that's going to be seeing what our team was up to that contributed to us winning the match. And the main thing that we want to look at again is what the enemy team was up to. Alright, so at the beginning here I move forward kind of the central part of this hill. We have a couple of heavies going over toward the town. I have another heavy next to me. And another heavy kind of slowly making his way toward the town. And we see two enemy heavies, including the Liberty or the Liberté, which isn't the heaviest heavy in the game, maybe the lightest heavy in the game. Anyway, these two enemy heavies that have pushed way forward really fast, and one of them is already gone. And so at this point, the other enemy vehicles continue pushing forward, including this ML1, and our guys from like F6 down. We just lost that black prince that was down there, but from about F6 down to around the G8-9 area, we have some guys kind of looped around, kind of in a U loosely. Shooting these enemy vehicles that have pushed really far really fast, and so that's kind of what's going on here. Otherwise we have ally medium, ally heavy kind of in the middle on the top of the hill a little bit, and medium heavy and a couple destroyers over about the H1 area, fending off that area. And of course, as we can see here, they have had at least one enemy medium push forward really far up to G1 already, and enemy heavy following closely behind and going into F1 there. So we're already up 5-2, and that's basically just because they've had like several guys just push really far forward really fast. Kind of driving almost one at a time, maybe, you know, a couple of vehicles at a time, if you will, if we're generous to them, one or two at a time, pushing fast down into our positions, basically the area, kind of the, you know, the southern half of the map, the area of the map that we started at. So we're relatively tight in our positioning and our deployment, still relatively close together, and able to more or less focus fire. You know, kind of on a one at a time or two at a time on these enemy vehicles that have pushed really far forward. Now, at this point, I'm kind of chasing this light tank around a little too much, moving forward. I think it's probably the case that I would have better served my team, and, if you will, better served my own stats accrual, to have pushed into these two enemy heavies up here in the town rather than trying to chase this light tank around. Nevertheless, kind of in my defense, if you will, I will say that generally speaking, I think if anything, I think players tend to ignore enemy light tanks too much. I don't think it's good to chase them around. That's how they get you to kind of follow them to basically a trap kind of a setup. But taking shots at them when you have shots at them, taking shots at the enemy light tanks when you have shots at them, I think is really important, and sometimes something that players in World of Tanks don't do enough of, focusing on making sure they take those shots at the light tanks when they have them. Sometimes they'll just kind of ignore the light tanks and pretend that it's not a big deal. But anyway, at this point we have pretty well eliminated all the enemy vehicles. So we're just going to kind of zoom through the rest of the match there, chasing down the artillery. And so again, the main thing I just wanted to focus on with this video was the way that the enemy team put themselves into position to lose. You know, we can acknowledge that our team did a good job of being in position to respond. We hadn't yet overextended. We hadn't yet pushed too far forward. We were in some good positions kind of on those flanks. And then also frankly, we had guys well positioned. We had a balanced deployment there. Some number of guys in the middle, number of guys on the east, number of guys in the west. But yeah, that wouldn't have been as easy as it was for us, as well as we were balanced, as well as we were positioned. Wouldn't have been as easy as it was for us if the enemy tanks hadn't have obliged, basically. I mean, they made it about as easy for us as they could have by charging forward really fast. They had about half their team insist on just driving forward as fast as they could. And that just made it really easy. Well, thanks for taking a look at this World of Tanks video. Thanks for playing World of Tanks.